Can you all? Great to see people. Thrilled. It's so good to see all of your beautiful faces. Oh my gosh. I always say this is the one time a year where we all gather. If I had a private jet, I would go to each of your doorsteps and pick you up. But in the meantime, here we are. Here we are, and folks are coming in. So this is our 15th annual thank you party. They say time flies when you're having fun. And that is a great moment because it is very much what is. And as I was saying, in a future moment, I would very much love to find a way for all of us to gather in person when it feels safe for everyone. But in the meantime, I toast all of you with our little Inspire water bottles. And thank you for very much making the time to be here with us to celebrate. So as I've told each of you, and I want to ask, does anyone hear a background noise in my
humming?
Little humming?
A little vibration sound.
Little vibration sound. That would be because just as you all got on, you know something. Is that any better?
Yeah.
Is that better? Excellent. Just as we started, something started happening in my yard, as is always the case with working from home. So great to be here with all of you. And as I've told this story many times and getting to know each of you on an individual level, started the business from the corner of our family's living room. It's one of those stories. And as I've been reflective about the last 15 years and the journey to get here, there were so many things that I wanted to share to kick off our 15th annual thank you party. And we decided to put together a little video to tell our story the best that we could. So we're going to start there. And Julie, if you don't mind rolling that, we will kick it off with this little video that we've put together to attempt to tell our story. Julie, if you can turn up the volume just a little bit.
Happy anniversary, Inspire.
When we were 1 year old, my mom had a vision to do HR and start new projects.
It's grown a bit since then, and we're so proud of the whole team and the journey along the way.
Things will probably get worse before they get better. So we're encouraging people to really be prepared and take a holistic approach, both from their wellness, their career search, as well as their finances. Someone is brave enough to come forward and tell their truth. I think both the body language and words that the HR community uses really sets the tone. This is the moment for every organization to be thinking about preparations.
Whatever you decide to do as a leader, as an HR leader, as a business leader, you have to think about the entire organization and the kind of the systemic effect.
We need to consider those experiences of the intersectional lens. And the way to do that is, number one, tackle employee resource groups.
Happy 15 years, and here's the 15 more.
Thank you, Julia. And it was so fun to see many of you, Jan and Sandra.
So I've got my essay written and I've been working.
And others, as we really look at where we've been across the last 15 years, I always say to the leadership team, I feel like I'm just getting started. I've got more energy than I know what to do with. So I know that there is so much ahead. And what has been such a big part of the journey, it was very much seen in the montage of all the pictures, is this group here. And I know that some folks are newer to our organization and some have been with us for quite some time, but it truly is this group of fabulous experts that sit across 13 plus states that are
that are the team. So thrilled to be here and celebrate with all of you. And usually we gather in the back room of Sarah Beth's on Park Avenue South. In the past, we've had various speakers. The last time we were together, Ben Green did a fabulous session on how to create a culture of inclusion for transgender colleagues. The year before that, Kira Copperman did a session on the multi-generational workplace. We were celebrating the second book that she had launched. We've had cooking parties, we've done volunteer work for Dress for Success, etc. But this is our second year now doing this party virtually, and we have started to put a deposit on a place to be together in person, but we are here. I'm thrilled that you decided to make the time to make sure we are safe. We're gonna have a ton of fun. We're gonna talk real quickly about our year that we've had together so far, and it's been quite a year. We'll then go into each of you being able to share a little bit about what you are doing for self-care during this this time that we find ourselves in as professionals and as humans. And then we'll be joined by an illusionist. His name is Hart. Literally, his parents gave him the name Hart. I always say leading with Hart, and his first name is Hart. He's an illusionist, kind of like a magician, a mentalist. And so we'll be entertained by him. And all of you voted on what you wanted to do for our virtual party, and the illusionist won, but you also just wanted time to get to hang and get to know each other. So we'll have hopefully a little bit of time for that at the end. So with that, just want to kick off with kind of the journey of how we have gotten here. And so Julie, you can zip to the next slide. Again, we just want to do a real quick year in review. Each of you have various skills and superpowers and gifts that you bring, and all of your beautiful work kind of falls into one of these 5 things that we're on speed dial for with all of our clients. And these practices, these groups have expanded as the year has unfolded. We can go to the next slide. And obviously the work that we do is in 3 buckets. I'm looking at all of you. Some of you do interim, where you parachute in. Some of you do strategic projects. Some of you help with elevating through training and coaching. But all of you contribute in one of the 3 ways that we typically go into client organizations. And to the next slide, please. Like I said, we're growing. With Zach joining us in the fine state of Utah, we now are in, I believe, our 13th state. And I'm looking at each of you, and I know that you hail from each of the different states, but we are growing and continuing to grow. So who knows how many states we'll be in as we're together this time next year, but 13 is where we are so far. And what is so cool as I think about the original genesis of the organization was that it was, work from home office and go on site as needed. And now, it's like the rest of the world found out about our secret, like this thing that we were doing for 13 years, this whole work from home thing caught fire. And so here we are. So what we're finding so much is that our clients are truly zip code agnostic. They just want the great work done. And I see that as nothing but a silver lining of this pandemic that we find ourselves in, whereby we can truly help clients deliver and delight no matter what home office you're in and wherever they call home. So I think we're on to something. All right, next slide. Great. So helping us figure out this vision is our fearless leadership team. I know that many of you have had the pleasure of getting to know each of them over time in various ways, and they're all here with us today. Karen Trombley, who we call KT, Camille Henderson, Henderson Davis, who is our brand new head of HR. She's been with us for just over a month. Janine Soma, who's our executive assistant, who also just joined about a month ago. And if we can go to the next slide, we have Karen Harbert, I always say is our longest tenured leadership team member. She's our chief of staff. Julie Lombardi, who, great story, started with us as a college intern. And a couple years later, we said, would you ever take a chance on us and work with us for a while? And she did, and she's now with us full time, joined also by Kim Howell and Chattanese Reese, who are practice leads, and Whitney Marsh, who is a project manager supporting all the practices. So this is a team we meet every day. We do a stand-up or a longer form leadership team meeting, but what we're talking about every day when we meet is all of you, projects in progress, projects that are perspectives, how we deliver and delight and elegantly scale, and make sure that all of you have time to just live your best life and do things that you love. I always say fractional work makes us whole. And so having time to do those other things is really key to me and the leadership team. So you can all just, have a very full life while also doing this really cool cerebral work. So the team. So Julie, if you want to just kind of go through the various slides, we have this fantastic growing team of experts that we are so proud of. And it's interesting, many of you have come through introductions, just through folks saying, hey, I've got a friend. I'd love for you to get to know them. Other folks, like I'm looking at Joan Burns, is a former client. Jan Na from the New York Times, former client. Like how great to really be colleagues for life and really just travel work and life's road in these various stages together. We're also joined by many of our vendors, and many of them we'll see here. And these are folks who very much are with us each step of the way in various aspects of our growth and the work that we're doing. So thrilled just to have this time together. So if we go to the next slide, we are so proud that during this time that we have grown. And, when the pandemic hit in March of 20, it was an interesting moment for us to think, I really like our model of working virtually, not a blip, except we had Sean, where's Sean? We had Sean on site in Las Vegas. And we had Jan, who was about to do a project for that company. And was it Michigan? It was one of those fantastic states that are in the middle of the country. I'm blanking.
It was in Chicago.
Chicago, thank
Yeah.
you. And I just remember being like, get Jan and get Sean home. And I think Jan, you were like, I'm fine, it's fine. But we were just like, get everyone home. But then once we had everyone home, it was that sense of, well, how do we continue to do this beautiful work? And I'm never amazed, but I'm delighted that we have continued to grow and grow. And here we are again, 21, Sangeeta, our fabulous graphic designer, literally created the slide. We're like, there's no more room on the slide. We have worked with so many clients across 2021. And these are, clients that many of you, I'm looking around, have worked with this year, or might even be some clients that we kick things off with in 20. So just amazed. And so many of our clients also come through these ambassadors that we have. They are people who worked with us at a previous company, and then they land a new company, and they'll text Karen Harwood and say, can you come in and help work with me at this one? So we've just grown so much through those great introductions and repeat people coming back. And it's because of so much of the beautiful work that this group has done. So if we go to the next slide, this just shares with you some of our, I call them longtime trusted clients. Folks who have worked with us for a period of time. And we are so thankful for them. And many of them continue to want to do extended work with us. And Ted, who literally we hadn't worked with in a year or so, just reached out to Karen the other day asking if we could help out with something. So clients that have this fantastic experience can't wait to work with us again when the need arises. So just such pride in that. And as I've shared with many of you, I'm from a long line of fishermen, and I love to fish on the reservoir in upstate New York with my dad and cousins. And every time we get a new client, I'm like an 8-year-old catching a fish for the first time. I get so excited and so humbled every time, just hoping that we crush it. So just great to have newer clients in 21 as well as our long time trusted clients. So with that, humbly, we go to the next slide, which is press. Just we're delighted that we're often on speed dial for points of view on a variety of topics that are keeping HR leaders up at night. And shout out to Melissa, who leads comms and communication for always, and marketing for always helping me to very much just prepare for all of those interviews among the various juggle of the day, just to make sure that we really show up and that we're saying things that feel not just current, but always, pushing people to think ahead. What did I say today to Janine? We were going through my inbox and I said, Janine, there's this newsletter from this badass woman who's all about climate change. I said, let Melissa know we need to be thinking about how HR has a role in reducing the carbon footprint as we go into 22. I'm not hearing anyone in HR really talk about that, but it's very much on my mind. And like those types of things are very much, or AI, like there's just so many things that we want to bring in to these conversations with the press to ensure that we're not just about 21, but my head's already on kind of 23 and beyond. So okay, so next slide, just wanted to call out 3 pieces that we were really proud of. Harvard Business Review did a piece that highlighted us, as well as Business Insider and SHRM. And every year I say, my hope is that we'll get a quote from the New York Times. They have been a client for 7, almost 8 years. We've never been quoted in the New York Times. We were in the Journal like 11 years ago, but the Times. So I'm putting it out there in the universe. Hopefully this time next year, the New York Times will be here as a piece of press that we got, but not yet. But we have the logo. I think like we have the logo ready to go. So if we ever need to add it to that slide, we're all set, Sangeeta, right? Okay, next slide. So with that, we had this cool idea in April of 21 to very much get HR and business leaders together who were all kind of thinking through the same sorts of issues. And the very first time that we gathered people, we had the head of talent at Zoom, an old colleague, Jody, who was like, sure, I'll come on and talk to 15, 30 leaders about this new thing called creating a sense of engagement with people working from home. And we invited 100 people. We had about 47 people join us. And we realized that all of them were just hungry for the same things. So we thought, let's keep on getting people together. And we have had, I think, Melissa, we just had our 11th redesigning the future of work session yesterday. We've done 11 of them this year, and we did, I'm losing track, maybe 8 in 20. But many of you have graced us with being on that panel. Colleen was on yesterday's. I'm looking around. So many of you were in these that are very much tackling whatever the thing is that's keeping leaders up at night. So we can just, and it's so funny, Joan, I'm looking, you were in the one back in July as a client with Meg, and I will share a story, which is that, and Joan, I don't think I've ever told you this, but so the way it works in my house is my husband, Darren, works from home, and he's always next to me just in case like the internet goes out. And I think in July, he was like a little bit too comfy on this little couch behind me. So at like minute 47, his foot appeared in the frame. And when we look at the playback, you saw Joan's face, who didn't skip a beat, answering a question, go. And Meg, I don't know if we ever got to fully debrief on this, but basically it was like it was like all of us with Darren's foot. And not only did he put his foot up, but then like he also like moved it. So like the participants weren't just like, what's that stuffed animal or something around? It was clearly a moving foot. And after this ended, I thought, well, that was interesting. Like, at least now people aren't intimidated, like Inspire has it all together. And we figured out working from the home office thing, like we're just like them, right? We're like really approachable. But Sangeeta was amazing. And she found a way to like, I don't know what you used, but like a magic eraser. She like magic erasered out Darren's foot from that session. But anyway, we had a lot of fun putting these together. And if we go through, we've had many of you there. And what's awesome about these sessions is that, and Julie, if you can just go back to the previous slide, what's awesome about these sessions is that we, I'm a little zoomed out personally. Is anybody here else zoomed out? A little bit zoomed out? Yeah, just touch. So we have like sometimes like 190 people sign up for these. And we always have, about like 50 or 60% actually show the day of, but it always blows our mind as we're preparing that so many people, even during this time, are even interested in still joining, because we all signed up for lots of stuff in the beginning, but we've kind of, I don't know, I don't attend as many as I used to, but we have lots of people sign up and lots of people join us, which is just, again, indicative of the community and how much they're hungry for fantastic information. So we are not doing one in December just because we think folks are just so booked, but we're very much planning our 22 calendar. So if you have any cool ideas or great speakers that you think could really have a fantastic point of view, or anyone thinking about HR's role in reducing climate change, which is on my mind, please let us know, because we're always looking to, and we're going to have Jody from Zoom, the head of talent for Zoom, come back and do one in Q1 as like a, where is she now? And so she'll be back and do one with us in Q1. Okay, so with that, so proud of that work. So I want to just take a moment. We always have this gathering right before Thanksgiving. That's why we call it the thank you party. And I want to just take a moment to shine a light on the organization that we've decided to go ahead and make a donation to this year. In previous years, we donated to organizations like Dress for Success and the National Alliance for Mental Illness, where Colleen is on the board, their New York chapter. And this year we are donating to an organization called Together Rising. Has anyone ever heard of them? It was founded by Glennon Melton Doyle, who's an awesome author that wrote the book Untamed. And if you haven't checked out her podcast, please do. It is like a laugh out loud. She's just so down home and real and so brilliant. And she started an organization that really does beautiful work to really make sure that heartbreak is turned into action, and they serve populations ranging from folks who have been impacted by the refugee crisis to families impacted by COVID, but they truly lead with heart and they believe that love wins. And so we're very much just thrilled to be donating to them. If you've heard of, she married Abby Wambach, who's like that soccer Olympian. They have a very interesting story in any event. So Together Rising is the organization that we're donating to this year. So, so with that, if we go to the next slide, please. So this is always a happy moment to just with pride share quotes from delighted clients that we've worked with throughout the year. So I'll just give you a moment to glance these. We always put these up on our website as we do various edits, but I wanted you all to see some of the quotes that we got this year. If you can go to the next one. I love this one. Would we get the same ROI with someone new at 40 hours a week that we get from our Inspire expert at 20 hours a week? It's debatable. So I love that one. It is so true. It is so true. I always say our folks get more done in a 15-hour work week than most people do in 40. And this client really sees it. So this is another one that was just so fabulous. And these are quotes from clients, various sizes, various industries, but there's always that consistency that clients see what we see when we get to know folks in the interview process. They see folks that are lovely as all get out and really smart. I always say, like, there are folks that you wouldn't mind being stuck in line with at the DMV or like stuck on the tarmac for an overdue flight. So that's the kind of folks that our clients love and that they want more of. So again, always really honored to share all of these quotes. So with that, if we go to the next one. So if you go to the next slide, please. So as you know, there was this thing called the pandemic that just kind of went on and on, but wanted to share, we did eke in a couple of get-togethers with Shatamise when she came to New York City, Allison Davis, our sales consultant, and Julia lives not too far from me. So this is us on our deck. We were out there 2 days ago with like hats on under a heater. We had 2 cups of tea. It was really cold, but we're trying. We're trying. Okay, to the next slide. So again, these are just sharing some fun of us getting together. I think that this one with the hat was at Kate's birthday. It was someone's birthday. We're just trying to create fun even from home offices as we go, and we're navigating this all together. So the next slide, please. Again, more screenshots of folks on Inside Inspire, various team meetings. The next slide, please. And with that, we find ourselves at, I think it's easy to get into a moment where we are very much kind of doing a similar routine day in, day out. And in realizing that's the reality of our lives, and hopefully more and more things are opening up, I do want to just go macro and think through the pieces that really continue to attract experts to our team, and just the things that kind of create our culture and just create the fun as we go. So just wanted to share, and I know that this has been mentioned before, but as we kind of talk about Inspire and where we are and where we're headed, so much of what we do is really very much grounded in our vision and mission and our core values, which are around being dependable and having that growth mindset, which all of you do. That's we're all like building the plane while flying it. Being person-centric, being very accessible and low ego, just easy to work with, and inclusive as all get out. So these are things that are just so important to our culture. And, I was thinking through how when we launched 15 years ago from the corner of my living room with Benjamin and Anna crawling around, it was very much unique that cerebral work could be done from a home office, right? And so at this moment in time, I recognized that the Inspire way of working is not unique, right? There are lots of companies, many of your partners, family, friends are very much working in that way. But the thing that we very much want to continue to foster within Inspire is a sense of that even though folks work fractionally, even though they might be on the bench for a while, or they might have things going, because on the bench meaning that they've said, I've got another big client that I'm working with, or I've got something on the home front that I need to nurture or tend to, that we're always still thinking of folks and how they're doing as humans, how they're doing as professionals. And in doing so, we've been thinking about how during this time we build upon our foundation of culture and think about doing something that I was inspired IBM did, which is create a well-being pledge, which is really a commitment to making sure that we show up for each other as humans and just make sure that everyone is doing the best that they can to make time for self-care as we navigate these times. So I wanted to ask Camille, our head of HR, she's like the HR of HR, just to walk us through this, which she has taken the lead on having the LT really architect. So Camille, I'm handing the microphone over to you.
Thank you, Jamie. And I'm really excited to be here for my very first thank you party a month into the job. So, as Jamie was saying, our vision at Inspire has always been to make the workplace the best place. And that has made it possible to fulfill our mission to deliver this unrivaled fractional expertise that Jamie's been talking about tonight. But the bottom line is, in the last year and a half, the way we work has changed. And how we think about ourselves in relationship to work has changed, and how much of ourselves we bring to work has changed. It's all changed. So we wanted to take an opportunity as a leadership team to sort of step back and say, how do we make our workplace even better through a pledge of caring for ourselves and caring for our team? And we sat down and really thought through, how do we make this more than a slide? How do we make this something that feels tangible and real and practical, and something we actually want to do? And it's something that we hope that you want as part of our team to do with us. So I want to walk you through what we decided and hope that you'll join us in doing it. But as the first thing we pledged was that we want to take care of ourselves in real life regularly, but most importantly, in ways that don't feel like more work. So it doesn't need to be Instagrammable, doesn't need to be fancy. It just needs to be the thing you do that recharges your battery. We also pledged to treat ourselves and the people around us with grace and mutual respect. This is one of those moments where we're just endlessly flexing and adapting to meet a varying set of needs. And there's a large learning curve in all of that. So that grace and that mutual respect help us kind of get through it. We also wanted to pledge to keep it real when life is happening. Jamie, all of a sudden having things going on in the backyard just as we kick this off. So we pledged to keep it real when life happens. And we even have kind of safe words on the leadership team. We say things like, got something going on the home front, or I'll get back to you. And it's just our little signal to each other that something's going crazy off screen, maybe not off screen, but I got the ball you just threw me. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. There'll be a clean handoff, but there's a lot happening. I need to be authentic around that. One of the ways that we gain that authenticity is in the second to last item on this pledge, which is that we are working to build intentional relationships with each member of our team. And it's so easy in this two-dimensional, talk to a screen, talk to a camera all day kind of world we're living in, that it just gets a little tougher to build relationships with colleagues you never see. So we're trying to take that moment at the beginning of each meeting rather than diving into an agenda and just running through it, but just try to connect even for a minute or two on who we are as human beings and where we are in that moment. And what we find is that that helps us with the final element of this pledge, which is to lean on those relationships we're trying to build when we need help. And maybe it's brainstorming and thought partnership and creativity on a project you're working for a client with. Or maybe it's just you just need to vent and you just need a moment, you need a shoulder. And we want to be able to do that for each other. So this is the pledge we've taken as a leadership team, and we hope that you as our team of experts will join us in trying to live this set of ideals. Jamie, back to you.
Love it. Does anyone have anything that comes to mind quickly? Or let me say it differently. If something comes to mind for you quickly, we're going to have time at the end, and we are just so excited to get any additional input. Again, this was a concept that really I got from, it was on a panel, a woman, Sophia, who heads up diversity initiatives for the API community, spoke to us about the wellness pledge. And I just made a sticky note that it was something that I wanted to do for us. So here we are, a year later after I got that idea from her. Or was that this year? It's all blurring, but I think it was last year. In any event, here we are. So thrilled that we're at this moment. And I recognize that for many of you, you have other clients that you work with. You might even have other inspires that you're working with. What I know is that you all have very full lives, and fractional work helps you feel whole as a human. But I want you to know that even if you're working with us fractionally, you're in our mind, and you are someone that this leadership team is thinking about and very much wants to make sure that you're taking that time for self-care. I think it is so critical that all HR leaders really prioritize that. And I want this organization to be change agents. And we're actually adding that as a question. What are you doing for self-care to the end of all of our monthly panels? And asking folks for ideas. One, because they've got cool ideas. Yesterday, someone spoke about sewing, which I thought was, I was like, that's right. I've got a sewing kit under my bed. But also because I want to bring it into the dialogue, bring it into the conversation. So, and bring it into the dialogue for your, family and friend network. Hey, Thanksgiving's around the table. Ask your family and friends what they're doing for self-care, because what we're learning as a leadership team is the more that we take time to recharge, our well is full, and then we can show up more for others. So with that, if we could go to the next slide, we're going to switch gears in just a moment and have our illusionist, Hart, dazzle us. But in the meantime, I wanted to offer a quick shout out from none other than Greg Brady, who you might remember from yesteryears, if any of you enjoyed him back in the 70s and such. So Julie, if you can play the message from the Bradys.
Hello, everyone. I'm Barry Williams from the Brady Bunch. Surprise! I appreciate your allowing me to join you, inspirational HR leaders and experts, on your annual thank you party. I understand that you have had quite a year, and I want to wish you a very successful and a very groovy 2022. Have a sunshine day.
Okay, let's be honest. Who grew up on the Bradys? Anybody else here enjoy them? Yeah, so he had to stop by. All right, so with that, it's hard to beat that message, but if we can go to the next slide. Julia, I know that Hart is with us, and Julia, keep me on track time-wise. This is the time to switch gears. Okay, excellent. So again, we're going to be dazzled by Hart, and then we'll go ahead and we will share what each of us has done for self-care in the last year. So if I could just ask if anyone is not on speaker view, if you could just go ahead and put it on speaker view so that you can get the most from his presentation. So our entertainer this evening performs his unique style of interactive illusion and mentalism all over the country at corporate events, casinos, colleges, and social functions. He's appeared on numerous TV programs, including NBC's America's Got Talent, TNT's The Librarian, and CW Network's Penn and Teller, of all things, their session called Fool Us. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the amazing Hart Keene.
Yes, wow, thank you, Jamie. You didn't tell me I was going to be following one of the Bradys. Are you serious? I watched that show growing up on Nickelodeon. They had it like late at night. But my name's Hart Keen. I'm the entertainment. What do you guys think so far? Okay, not impressed. Grab a drink. The more you drink, the better I get. I promise you guys. But this is an interactive show. I'm going to be calling on people randomly throughout the show. And before I go any further, we're going to do a quick warm-up, a perception test, just so I can see what I'm working with today, okay? Because it is interactive. So I want y'all to follow along. If you have a drink in your hand, a phone in your hand, put it down for just a moment, free up your hands, and I want you to put your arms out in front of you just like this. Come on, I can see you guys. It's a live show. This is not television. All right, this is not pre-recorded either, just a heads up. All right, palms out. Did we lose anyone? Okay, very good. Cross your arms. Interlock your fingers. Okay, now here's the first perception test. Watch closely. Everybody wiggle their left pinky finger. Oh, wrong finger, Jamie. This is a family show. Come on, this is HR. Let's be appropriate, Jamie. All right, most of you did really well. This time, put your thumbs down, but keep your arms all the way out. Very good. Now, keeping your arms out and your thumbs down this time, you're simply going to stick your thumbs up. Oh boy, this is going to be a long show, isn't it? All right, everybody go like this. Yay! Give yourselves a round of applause. Yay! Go like this for Zoom. Yes. So let's check in with somebody right now that looks bored. Who's looking bored? We have Zach. Zachary, how are you?
Doing very well, but I'm not bored.
You're not. I'm sorry. Did I wake you? No, I wasn't sure. You looked like you were about to fall asleep. I thought I'll call on. Now, is it Zach or Zachary? What do you prefer?
Zach is great.
You're like, just call me Zach. Whatever you do, don't call me late for dinner. Zach, we're going to try something. Where are you located right now, physically?
I'm in my office in Utah.
In Utah, awesome. So I'm over here. I'm on the West Coast. I'm close enough to you, but this is virtual. So we're going to do this right through the screen. First of all, have we ever met before?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
You look happy about that, Zach. We'll try this through the screen. Zach, I made a prediction before we jumped on the call, and I want to see how I did. So Zach, what I'm going to do is I'm going to snap my fingers. I want you to let one card in a 52 card deck, no jokers today. Don't be a joker. I'm going to snap my fingers, let one card pop into your mind. Boom, now. Did you feel that, by the way, all the way over there in Utah?
I got it.
You got it. Okay, perfect. We're transmitting. So one card popped in your mind. It wasn't the Ace of Spades, was it?
No, it was not.
Didn't think so. I just want to make sure that that spade on the box didn't influence you. They use that. It's from the ace that they put on the box there. And a lot of people name the Ace of Spades. It's because they're influenced. So tell everybody right now, what card popped in your mind when I snapped my fingers?
An 8 of clubs.
The 8 of clubs. 8 of clubs. Do you want to change your mind, Zach?
No.
Please?
Nope.
I'm kidding, Zach. 8 of clubs it is. I'll be very fair about this. We're off to a great start. I told you I made a prediction before we started today. What I did, Zach, is I reversed one card face down in this deck. No funny moves. We'll just spread through. You can see there is one card, Zach, face down in the entire deck. You had a free choice. Zach, that's the 8 of clubs. Whoa, let's give it up for Zach, everybody. And Zach, not only did I get your card, I also got your watch. Watch. Oh, no, wait, Zach. Crap, that's my watch. He's not impressed. Not impressed.
I would have loved if that was my watch.
Thank you so much, Zach. All the way from Utah. Let's give it up for Zach, everybody. And feel free to light up the chat box. I'll read funny chats. Let's keep them appropriate. HR folks, all right, guys? So let's try something with somebody else. Somebody that we have not talked to yet. Somebody that everybody knows. Who do we got? Let's see. We have, this is Karen. Karen, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing really well. And once again, guys, if you're not on speaker view, go up into the top right part of your screen, click on view, go to speaker. You should be seeing Karen and I side by side. And if you're not on a laptop or desktop, that's probably the best way to view the show, but it's all good if you're on an iPad or something. But laptops and desktops are best for this experience. Karen, first off, we've never met. This is the first time we're speaking. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and where are you located?
I'm located in Peabody, Massachusetts.
Oh, you're on the other side of the country. We're on the opposite sides of the country. You're West Coast, East Coast. Virtually through the screen, I'm going to read your mind. And here's what I'd like you to do, Karen. I want you to think of your 4-digit banking account PIN code number, okay? Your PIN code number. Look into the screen. I'm kidding. Karen, don't do that. That's identity theft. And I don't want to go back to prison. Anyway, Karen, we're going to try something with an innocent number. I want you to think of a number in between 1 and 100, just to make this innocent, nothing set, no sensitive information. So think of a number in between 1 and 100. Do you have a number in your mind?
I do.
Okay, don't say it out loud, Karen, or this won't be all that amazing. All right, but just say it in your mind. Look at me right through the screen. Oh, and you're one of these people that actually knows where your camera's at. Have you guys noticed in the Zoom realm, you're talking to somebody and they're like this? Yeah, hey, how's it going, Peggy? You know, it's nobody knows where their camera's at. It's weird. So say the number in your mind a couple more times. Okay, just the number. Okay, I got it. Karen, I'm committing to this number. Permanent marker. There is no going back. This is the number I am seeing in your mind. I could be wrong, but mentalism's not 100%. Mind reading's not 100%, as you all know. I'm going to go with this. So keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I've never met Karen before. I wrote down a number. I want to see how I did. I think we connected. For the first time out loud, what number did you merely think of?
88.
88. Out of all the choices, you thought of 88. That's crazy, because that's exactly the number I had, was 88. Let's give it up for Karen, everybody. Whoa! Right through the screen.
Hart, this is our head of finance. Hart,
you're
this
gonna
is our
think
head
of
of finance.
Think of your social security number, okay? Karen, just say it in your mind a couple. No, Karen, we won't do that. But Karen, all this applause is for you. They're lighting up the chat box. Somebody said, wow. Samantha said, wow. Samantha, you said that backwards. It's wow. All right. Thank you so much, Karen. We'll see you soon. We're going to take this even further. If you have a book nearby, any book at all, make sure it's appropriate. I did an event the other day and someone pulled out the Kama Sutra. Let's remember, this is an HR group here, so let's make it appropriate. If you have a book, hold it up just so I can see it. What do we have here? Who's got a book nearby? Hold it up right in front of the screen. Oh, we got Lynn. Lynn, hi. Lynn, you got a book there. Hold it up so we can all see it. It's The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. Have you read it? Take your time. I get paid by the hour.
Hi there.
Hi, Lynn.
Yes, of course I've read it.
Okay, you have read it. Is it good? Is it something I should pick up?
I mean, yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Is it better than The Secret?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll pick it up. So once again, hold it up. It's the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. So here's the thing, Lynn, we've never met before. You pulled out a random book. I
Right.
called on you randomly because you were one of the first people to hold it up. I have a book up here behind me on my shelf. We'll get to that in a moment. But right now, I want you to open your book to a random page. Just make it just flip through just random page, random as possible. Okay, tell everybody, Lynn, what page did you open to?
Well, it's 2 pages.
Well, what's the first one?
88.
Page 88. 88. That's weird, considering that our last helper Karen just thought of the number 88. That's pretty
88.
bizarre already. 88. That's already crazy as it is, but we'll get back to that in a moment, the page number. So page 88. Earlier, she thought of 88. This is already bizarre. Guide your eyes down that page, Lynn, and just land on one word in your mind. Just land on a word in your mind. Did you do that?
Yes, I did.
Okay, tell everybody, what word did you land on randomly in your mind?
Factored.
Factored.
Yes.
Factored. Factored. Okay, think about this, ladies and gentlemen. I've never met Lynn before. She opened her book randomly to page 88, the number that Karen merely thought of right before this. Then she guides her eyes down the page, lands on one word. The word is factored. Factored. Remember how I told you I had a book up here behind me on my shelf? Inside my book, I'll be very fair about this, Lynn, there's a bookmark with a paper clip on it. Can you see it there?
Yes, I do.
Believe it or not, that's on page 88. That's page 88, but I thought you might not believe me, which is why I jotted down a note as well as a word. Look, if I take off that paper clip, you can see that before I started the show today, in my bookmark, I wrote down a page number as well as a word. The page I wrote down was 88 and the word was factored.
All right, I'm freaked out now.
Let's give it up for Lynn, everybody. Thank you, Lynn. And Lynn, it's okay to be freaked out by this stuff. Religions have been started with less. That's a true story, by the way. That's a true story. Thank you, Lynn. We appreciate all this. Sean says amazing. That he's saying you're amazing. That's what Sean is saying. You're amazing. Thank you so much, Lynn. We'll see you soon. Let's take this further. A lot of people, they ask me, they say, hey, maybe you got lucky, magic boy. Maybe everybody thinks of 88. Maybe everybody opens their book to page 88. Who knows? Maybe you influenced us to do this. Maybe everybody chooses the word factored. That's obviously ridiculous, but people are crazy. They have the nuttiest ideas on how I do this stuff. They don't believe that I'm just a mentalist, that this is how it works. So let's take it even further. And later on, because I know this is a very analytical group, when you guys are analyzing my show later, after I've left the building or after I've left the room, the Zoom room, you guys are going to be thinking about this stuff. You're going to say, well, was it possible? Maybe this happened, maybe that happened. So I'm just going to show you guys how impossible this next demonstration is if I'm able to do it. If I'm able to do it. Remember, this stuff is not 100%, but you're a really good group so far. And I think we're clicking. So if you have your phone nearby, hold it up so I can see it. Just hold up your phone. We're going to take this a little bit further. Who's got a phone here? Oh, we got Melissa. Melissa, you hold up your phone quickly. Hi, Melissa. No pressure.
I know, right as I fish for my mute button.
No, you're good. You're good. You found it. You found it. Melissa, we've never met before. Where are you located?
I'm in upstate New York, the Albany area.
That is correct. Not impressed. That's not the trick. That's not the trick, Melissa. That's a stupid trick. Anybody could have got that one. So you pulled out your phone. I want to show everybody how impossible this next demonstration is if we're able to do it. So I want you to search for something on your phone for me real quick. Just Google it. 3 words. Wiki, W-I-K-I, wiki, article, count. Go ahead and Google that right now. As you guys know, Wikipedia is a living, breathing organism. It's how many kids get through school these days, but they just had their 20th anniversary. It changes every day. So Wikipedia is changing literally by the hour, by the minute. Articles are taken down, articles are added, they're edited. It's kind of an open source thing. So show everybody, just hold it up there. What are the results there? Just so we can see it. Perfect. Okay, yeah, click on that top link. Just go and click on that top link. This should be a stat counter. It should show us the current number of articles and the average word count. So yeah, hold it. Yeah, keep it right there. That's
supposed to. Okay.
Yeah, you can hold it up right there, just so everybody can see it. I'm going to do the math for everybody. So look, there's 6,410,317 articles currently on Wikipedia. We'll multiply it. What's the word count there? 1,738. So 1,738. So guys, there's over 11 billion words on Wikipedia. So here's what we're going to do, Melissa. Go ahead and click that Visit Wikipedia link that you see there. And what I want you to do is go to the top right corner. You'll see the magnifying glass. Click on that magnifying glass in the top right. And Melissa, here's what's going to happen. It's Wikipedia, so you could search, like a person, place, or thing, but make sure it's common enough that there would be an article on it. So like a famous person, or maybe a place you want to visit or have visited, or a hobby you're into. Just make sure that there would be an article. So don't search for something too obscure or mundane, because we want to make sure that there's an article on it. So go ahead and search for something on Wikipedia, anything you want.
Okay.
Did you do that?
Yep.
And it brought up an article.
Yes.
Okay, here's what I want you to do. Don't let me see what you're looking at. Don't hold your phone up anymore to the screen. Just quickly scroll through that article, and here's what I want you to do. I want you to think of a long word, at least 6, 7 letters long, just to make this interesting. So the longer the word, the more difficult it makes a demonstration. But just think of a word in that article. Like I said, longer the better.
Okay.
You have one in your mind?
Sure.
Okay, say it in your mind a couple times and put your phone face down, so there's no chance I could see a reflection, nothing that you're looking at. So ladies and gentlemen, we've never met before. She searched for anything she wanted on Wikipedia. All I know is that she's thinking of one word in over 11 billion. Over 11 billion. Okay, that's crazy. Over 11 billion. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to think first on what you searched for. Think about what you searched for. Focus on whether this is like a person, place, or a thing for me. Just focus on whether it's a person, place, or thing. This is a person you searched for. Is that correct?
It is.
Okay, this is a person you searched for. Think about whether this is a male or a female for me. That's a male. That's a man you search for. Yes.
It's a man.
Yes. And this is think of this is someone very famous. Someone very famous you're thinking of. Focus on the first letter of their name. Just the first letter. I'm going to go with this. This is what I'm seeing. What is the first letter?
H.
H, that's what I have. H. Okay, let's take this further. We'll come back to the person in a moment. Think of the word in the article. So you thought of a word in the article. Just focus on the first letter for me. That's not an R you're thinking of, is it?
It's not.
It's not. It's not. Is there an R in the word? There's an R in the word somewhere?
There's not.
There's not an R. That's okay. That's okay. Let's do this. Focus on the first letter. Just like I got with the first letter with the person's name, I'm going to commit to a first letter. Just say the first letter in your mind a couple times. Okay, I'm going with this. I'm going with this. Okay. If I got the first letter, I'm instantly going to know what the second letter is because the sound it's making coming off the tip of your mind. I think I have the second letter as well. What is the first letter of the word?
S.
S? The second letter is a U, isn't it?
It is.
It is. Okay, so we got a U. Okay, we got a U. Very good. Focus on the third letter for me. I'm going to go with this. It's a G, isn't it? Is that what you saw in your mind?
It is.
Okay. Say the whole word in your mind now. Don't say, but not out loud. Not out loud. I'm going to go with this. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, once again, we've never met. She searched for anything she wanted on Wikipedia, scrolled through the article. She saw a couple hundred words in that article alone, and you thought of one of them. I have the word written here that I'm seeing on your mind for the first time out loud. What was the word you merely thought of?
Suggested.
Suggested. That's exactly what I have. Suggested. Let's give it up for Melissa. Thank you, Melissa. Round of applause for you. And I almost forgot. You searched for someone. You searched for someone. This might sound weird. We'll do a little association. Give me like an image in your mind, like of this person. I'm seeing somebody dressed fancy. Somebody's dressed fancy. They're sitting on a chair. Does that make sense to you?
It does.
Like almost like a throne of some type. Oh, I see what you're seeing in your mind. Let's go here. I'm gonna go here. Okay, this is what this makes sense to me. This makes sense. I'm gonna commit to this. Who did you think of?
King Henry VIII.
King Henry VIII. That's what I have. Henry VIII, right there. Whoa! Let's give it up for Melissa, everyone. Thank you, Melissa. Yes, that's all you. Remember, guys, this show doesn't work without you. Even though we're apart, we have to be together in this show. Otherwise, nothing works. We have to connect virtually. So, Melissa, you are amazing. You did wonderfully. This doesn't work with everybody, just so you know. We're definitely clicking here. So let's take this further, guys. Melissa, I might have to call on you later just because we clicked so strongly, maybe for another demonstration. But for now, I'm going to go to someone else. And if we have any 80s children in the house tonight, don't worry. I'm not gonna guess your birthday or anything like that. I would never do that. I don't guess people. I know people's ages. I can guess their age, but we're not doing any of that. All right. You guys are HR. Let's keep it appropriate. So Melissa says, now I'm a believer. Thank you, Melissa. And we just did the demonstration with Melissa. So when she's a believer, it was her thoughts. That's you got to believe her on that, right? She's a believer. So we'll take it further. Show of hands. Who was born in the 80s? Do you have any 80s kids in the house? Any 80s kids? 80s kids. Oh, right here. We got Samantha. Samantha's an 80s kid. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Awesome. I'm doing well as well. We've been doing all this crazy mentalism. Everything's clicking. So if this next part doesn't work, Samantha, it's your fault. I'm kidding. No, it's not your fault. I think you're going to do wonderfully, just like Melissa did. And we're going to connect virtually in a moment. But first, do you remember these little toys behind me? Rubik's Cubes. Do you remember these being all the rage back in the 80s?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever play with one of these?
Yes, I did.
Did you ever solve one?
Probably not.
You know why? Because you have a life. That's why. All right. So back in the 80s, there was no YouTube. There was no Google. You couldn't look up algorithms to help you solve these things. Now kids can just look it up on YouTube and learn how to solve them. Not that it's easy to solve one of these. It does take some practice and some study, but they have all these resources. Back in the 80s, when we were gifted these as children, we didn't have any of that. This is like the worst children's toy of all time, Samantha, and here's why. The toy came solved on all 6 sides. All six sides were solved when it came in the package. And the child, like me anyway, when I was, probably 5 or 6 when I first got one of these, the child opens up the package, mixes the puzzle twice, and then is never able to solve it again. And nobody can help them back then. Okay, there's no grandparents that can help you. They don't understand them. Parents, friends. So you're stuck with this puzzle that you're never able to figure out. It is the worst children's toy ever. It's like, here, kid, get used to disappointment. You're never going to figure life out. Enjoy your new toy. Bye. This is why I grew up to be a frustrated adult. I'm telling you now. So we're going to try this virtually through the screen. I'm going to mix the cube on all sides. I'm just going to kind of move around the cube. And Samantha, you just tell me to stop whenever you want. Again, I get paid by the hour, so take your time, but I'm just going to keep moving around the cube, mixing, and you just tell me to stop whenever you like.
Okay, stop.
Right there, is that good?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, there's still going to be some skeptics who are going to say, well, maybe he timed it. Maybe he knew when she would say stop. He is a mentalist. So I want you to pick a side, top, bottom, left, right, front, back, doesn't matter. Pick any side.
The left.
The left, your left or my left?
Your left.
My left. Okay, I'll twist this until you want me to stop.
Stop.
Right there, is that good?
Yep.
Okay, pick one more side.
The bottom.
The bottom, okay, again, I'll move this till you say stop.
Stop.
Right there?
Yep.
Okay, now there's still gonna be some skeptics on the call. They're gonna say, well, I would have done this or I would have done that. I want you to be satisfied that you've helped me mix this cube virtually. So do you wanna leave the cube as is? Do you wanna mix another side? Do you want me to mix the whole cube? It's up to you, Samantha.
Let's leave it as is.
Leave it as is. Final answer?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I mixed this cube before we started. Now, before we get to my cube, do you have any idea on how many possible combinations you could have mixed your cube? Have you ever looked up the number on this? You can feel free to Google it, guys. It's 42 quintillion. There are 42 quintillion possible combinations. 42 quintillion. To give you an idea of that number, if you took two cubes and you mixed them together side by side your entire life for 90 years, literally mixing cubes for 90 years next to each other, two cubes, the odds of one side matching, even after 90 years of mixing them next to each other, is astronomical because there's 42 quintillion possible combinations. So here's what I don't understand. I mixed my cube before we started. You helped me mix your cube. And that's one side matching there. That's crazy in and of itself. But that's two sides matching. That's nuts, Samantha. In fact, this is crazy. That's three sides matching. What? You made the choices. That's four sides matching. In case you're not impressed, that's five sides matching. Colleen says, what? And right there, that is all six sides matching. Let's give it up for Samantha, everybody. I couldn't have done it without you, Samantha. And just to give you a little eye candy, I'll show you what I've been doing, what I've been up to these last 20 months. I've been locked in my house. Okay, I need to get out and meet people. Trust me, you'll know why in just a moment. But I got bored of Hulu. I got bored of Netflix. Got bored of board games, so I started playing with Rubik's Cubes. And now I can solve one with one hand and not looking, without looking, one-handed. I think you might enjoy this. Let me study all six sides. Okay. Oh boy, this might be a tough one. You know, I'm gonna try it anyway. Watch closely. Samantha, if I give it a shake, it's a shake and a twist, almost like a snow globe or something. If I shake and I twist, sometimes I can actually solve this cube with one hand without looking. I think I have one more side to go. That should be the last side right there. And that is all six sides solved. And Samantha, are you sad or are you impressed that I'm able to do that?
I just want to know how you did it.
How? Can you keep a secret?
I can.
So can I. Oh, okay. Never mind, Samantha. Actually, Samantha, that last part is just too much time on my hands. That's what that is. But Samantha, you're amazing. Where are you located right now, by the way?
In New Jersey.
New Jersey. Okay. So I'm based out here in Oregon, or as people from New Jersey call it, Oregon. All right. And did you know that New Jersey and Oregon are the only two states where we can't pump our own gas? There's only two states where we can't pump our own gas. Do you know how to pump your own gas, by the way?
I've never tried.
You've never tried. Okay, that's awesome. So everybody else on this call is just laughing hysterically right now because a lot of people don't even think about it. They always have pumped their own gas. But nope, Oregon and New Jersey, you can't pump your own gas. So most Oregonians and most folks from New Jersey aren't really sure how to pump gas because we never have to do it. It's bizarre. But thank you, Samantha. Once again, all the way on the other side of the country, I couldn't have done it without you. So I appreciate it. All right, thanks again. So when people see these types of demonstrations, they always have the same question. Cool, but why are you here? If you were a good mentalist, you wouldn't be here. You would have won the lottery by now. That's what everybody wants to see a mentalist do, predict the winning lottery numbers, but it's never happened. You guys have never heard of it happening. The Amazing Kreskin, a famous mentalist back in the day, used to be on the Johnny Carson show. He never won the lottery. He's still working. He's like 90 something years old. He's still out there working, doing mind reading shows. David Copperfield, right? He's still at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas doing 2 shows nightly. He's a billionaire. He probably doesn't need to win the lottery, but you get the point. He's never predicted the winning lottery numbers. Darren Brown out of the UK, he's never done it. Chris Angel, David Blaine, none of these guys that do mentalism and illusion have ever predicted the lottery. Simple answer why. Computers, algorithms, right? Lottery numbers are selected by computer algorithms. It's how they protect it from ourselves. If it was somebody selecting the numbers, you just pay them off and then split the winnings, right? So they have to protect it. They have to keep it honest. So it's all done with computers, algorithms, very randomized, okay? So it's never gonna happen. But when somebody asks me that, I always say, well, what would you do if I gave you the winning lottery numbers? What would you do if you won the lottery? You can find out a lot about what makes a person tick. It's like the best first date question, right? What would you do if you won the lottery? Money was no object. So let's see what we're working with today. What kind of group we have. Let's check in. We'll say hi to Colleen. Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are
Hey
you?
there. Where are you located?
Connecticut.
Connecticut. And you know how to pump your own gas, right?
I do know how to pump my own gas.
You know how to
Yeah.
pump your own gas. Okay, perfect.
I'm still astonished that Sam doesn't know how to pump gas.
Well, it's a very, it's a very common thing. Trust me, with Oregonians and folks from New Jersey, it's a very common thing that they don't know how to pump gas because they never do it. Sure, they might travel, but it's maybe on a plane or something. So, you know, I've been traveling for a long time, even in my car to other states. So I've been doing it forever. But you'd be surprised at how many people don't know how to pump their own gas. And in the chat box earlier, somebody said, so who pumps your gas? That's a funny comment. Who pumps it? Well, a gas station attendant pumps the gas. That's who pumps the gas, is somebody that works at a gas station. But yeah, hilarious. And that's why a lot of our gas stations close so early because there's nobody there to pump gas, right? They don't want to pay somebody all night. Anyway, we're going to try something. I have a question for you, and I'm not judging, but Colleen, what would you do if you won the lottery today?
If I won the lottery today, so many options. I think choices.
Yeah.
I would go straight to my favorite country, Mexico.
You go straight to what part of Mexico?
Again, so many choices. Puerto Escondido.
Oh, perfect. You're specific about this. I love it. I like, Puerto Vallarta, and then on the Cancun side, like Puerto Venturas. Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I want to get back there soon. But right now, we're going to play a little lottery game, like a kind of a fill in the blanks. What if we won the lottery? Okay, it's just a game. And for helping me out with this little game today, you win a prize. Okay, you and a couple of the people that helped me with this next demonstration, you win the contents of the box, the little gift box there. It's been in full view since we started the show. You and a few others win the contents of the box. It's not millions of dollars, but I think you're going to like it. Okay, and all I need from you, it's not a heavy lift. I just need some lucky lottery numbers. So lottery numbers are in between 1 and 70. So I want you to give me a number in between 1 and 70, 70, 1 and 70. Go ahead.
Out loud?
Yeah, so we can all hear.
9.
9. Now, it sounds like you've thought about this. That's like a lucky number, it sounds like. You're like, boom, 9. All right, so we got 9. Give me another one. I'm writing them down.
11.
11? Okay, give me one more, and then we'll do somebody else, and then we'll also do the Powerball. So, but give me one more.
29.
29? 29. Did I hear that correctly? 29? Okay, perfect. We've got 29. And last but not least, we're going to call on one more person just to get a couple numbers. Somebody we haven't talked to yet. And this is, we got somebody raising their hand. Hi, how are you? Hi there. You don't look old enough to gamble, but we'll do it anyway. It's just HR people here today. Don't worry about it. Gambling's fun, kids. Anyway, so it's just a game. We're not actually gambling. So what's your name?
Bryn.
What, Bryn?
Yeah.
Am I saying that correctly? Bryn, how old are you?
7.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's how old I was when I was your age. That's crazy, Bryn. What? This is a mind-blowing show, isn't it, Bryn? That's crazy. So, Bryn, these are the lottery numbers we already have. And Bryn, I need a few numbers from you. So can you give me a number in between 1 and 70? In between 1 and 70? Go ahead.
62.
62. That's a good choice. We got 62. Okay, give me one more, and then we'll do the Powerball. So 62. Go ahead and give me another one.
55.
55. These are really good choices. I'm so impressed. 55. Okay, now the Powerball number, Bryn, is in between 1 and 35. So give me a number in between 1 and 35. It's like math class today, right, Mom?
Oh, yeah.
20.
20. Is that your final answer, Bryn?
Yes.
20. Let's give Bryn a big round of applause. That's just what we needed. The number 20. In fact, we're even going to circle it. So, Bryn, here is your numbers on the bottom, okay? And then we have Colleen's numbers on the top, okay? So don't forget your numbers. We'll come back to those in just a moment. There's only one more thing we have to do. And is it Lauren? Are you Lauren? Hi, Lauren. Can you help me with something real quick?
Sure.
Okay, so we have our lucky numbers, but there's one more thing we have to figure out in our little lottery game. What would we do with the money? So Lauren, I've done research on this. This is the top things people do when they win the lottery. It's all in here, all the top things people do. There's a lot of choices. What I'd like you to do is name a number, because we're virtual here. Name a number in between 1 and 25. Go ahead.
16.
16. Okay, we'll go to page 16. Look, if you would have said 1, it would have been remain anonymous. That's a good one. Otherwise, you suddenly have a much larger family, people you've never met before, just coming out the woodwork, right? If you win the lottery.
Right.
2 would have been pay off debt. We got quit job. What was the number you said again?
I said 16.
Oh, sorry,
16.
16. Okay, look, we'll go all the way to page 16. Look at all the choices. All the choices. Roll it. Kidnap insurance. Okay, we're going to go all the way to, in fact, we'll stop at 15. 15 would have been private doctor. You're no more appointments, your own private doctor. But you said 16. 16, Lamborghini. Lamborghini, randomly selected. You get the Lamborghini. Bryn, you don't look impressed.
Is that a type of car?
It is.
Yes, it's a type of car. It's a very nice car, i.e. a Lambo. That's what the kids call it these days, Lambo. You'll hear about it. You'll read about it. Anyway, so you guys chose all the numbers randomly. Then you randomly selected that we're going to be buying a Lamborghini. Lauren, would you be impressed if there was a Lamborghini now parked in front of your home?
Yes, I would.
So would I.
No,
So would I.
no.
I'm not that good. But remember, I did say that for helping me out, you all win a prize. Remember the gift box up here behind me? The gift box.
Yay.
Colleen, you look like Brad Pitt in the movie Seven right now. You're like, what's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? That's a weird ending. Hopefully that's not what's in the box during this show. Not an HR friendly show, kids. Anyway, inside the box. Remember, you made all the choices, guys. Look, can you see it?
A Lamborghini.
You randomly selected a Lamborghini and look inside the box. There's a Lamborghini. There's a Lamborghini. That's a Lambo. Bryn's not impressed. Bryn, I know it's not the size you wanted, but close enough. Also inside
I
the
didn't
box.
want a Lamborghini at all.
I don't want a. What kid doesn't want a Lamborghini? Look, inside the box, there's also a folded up Powerball ticket. Now, before I take this ticket out and show you the numbers that I played that are printed on this ticket that I bought yesterday, right before I flew back from an event in California. Trust me, I already checked the numbers. I didn't win. Remember, I don't predict the lottery. I predict people like yourselves. And I handpicked these numbers just for this event today. Now, before I take this ticket out and unfold it, Bryn, do you have any idea on the numbers that I played that are on this ticket that's been folded up inside this box in full view since we started the show? Any idea on the numbers matching your 6 freely named numbers? Bryn, do you know what the odds are? It's like you all winning the lottery today. Those are the odds. It's like you winning the lottery. So I'll be very fair about this. In fact, I'll pull you guys, I'll take you off a spotlight here just so everybody can get a nice big shot of this. No funny moves, okay? Hands are empty, all right? I'll be very fair. Look, you can see that this ticket is folded inside the box, okay? There it is. Look, I'll be very fair. You can see it's dated for yesterday. There's the date on the bottom. But most importantly, look at the numbers I played yesterday, everybody. We'll start from the left. The first number, that would be a 9. That's a match. That's one of our numbers. Followed by 11. Another match, guys. 11. Allison says, how? A lot of W's there. 29, another match, guys. Followed by 55. Also a match. Then we have 62. Once again, another match. Then look under the word power there. Look under the word power. What's the Powerball number that I played? The Powerball number is 20. Bryn's Powerball number, also a match. They're all a match Unbelievable. Colleen says, yes, Colleen, there's your numbers. Bryn, there's your numbers. They're all there. And if anybody would like me to send this ticket out as a souvenir, I'm happy to do it. Just drop me your address. I'll mail it to you. It can go on the refrigerator. Whoever wants it, feel free to reach out and we'll give you this ticket. Happy to send it out. Oh, and I guess the Lambo, maybe. I know it's not the size you wanted, but whatever, you get the point. So I want to try something really crazy for you guys. I was on NBC's America's Got Talent. It's been about a decade since I was on the show. When I was on the show, it was the judges were very different back then. It was, well, Howie Mandel is still on the show. He's still one of the judges. Love Howie Mandel. But back then it was Piers Morgan and Sharon Osbourne, as well as Howie Mandel. And they were mean judges. Okay. They were, if you guys remember the show back then, it was a very different show. Now it's like everybody's really nice to one another. You know, you're all HR people. We know why they're nicer to people now, because there's been some backlash. There's been some negative outcomes. We won't get into details of some of these judges being mean to acts that are kind of up and coming. And there was some stuff that was actually swept under the carpet. Some really bad things that happened from them being so mean to acts, especially a lot of the younger acts. And even myself, Piers was a jerk to me a few times. So it's a very kind show now, just like The Voice. It's very encouraging, right? Oh, maybe not yet, but you're going to get there, whatever, right? So it's a much different show. But when I was on it, it was pretty brutal. And Nick Cannon assisted me with this next routine up on stage live at the show. And the judges were quite a ways away from me, but the cameras were able to come in very close. And that's the view that you have now. You guys have the best seat in the house. This is actually better virtually because you're seeing everything right up close and personal. I know there's some kids on the call. It might not just be Bryn. I know there's a few other kids probably watching. So kids, what you're about to see is a stunt. I'm a trained professional. I've been doing this a long time. Do not, under any circumstances, try what you're about to see at home. Go over to your friend's house. No, I'm kidding. Don't ever try this at home. You'll end up in the hospital or dead. Okay, so do not try this. Promise me, guys. That you will never, ever give this a whirl. But what I have with me is a package full of 2-inch long stainless steel sewing needles. They're sharp, they're real, they don't dissolve in moisture or anything weird like that. So Corinne, the boys are on the edge. What's going on? We got a couple boys watching this. Boys do stupid things. Young men do stupid things. All right, that's all I saw in the chat box. Like the boys are on the edge of their seat. Tell them, warn them, do not try this, okay? Most people wouldn't even try this first part. And that means taking a needle and placing it onto your tongue. Oh. And that's one needle down the hatch. We got a lot more to go. Stick around. Pardon the pun, but stick around. This is going to be crazy. We're going to do 2 at once. This is probably not the HR friendly portion of the show, right? Big liability here. All right. Sharp, real. Okay. 2 at once. Keep me honest, guys. No funny moves. I'm not wearing any sleeves. Okay. Like half of you, I'm not wearing pants. It's the beauty of working from home virtually. You don't have to wear pants to work. What a time to be alive. Bryn can't watch, Samantha says. Sorry, Bryn. Okay, that's what, 3 down. If you're counting, check inside the mouth. It's empty. Nothing hidden under my tongue. Check the top gum, just to be thorough here. Bottom gum. Check the sides. Completely empty. Okay, like I said, nothing hidden in my fingers. No funny business. We're gonna do a stack at once, just to keep things moving. All right, whole stack. There it is. I'll spread them out just so you can get a good look at them. That is an entire stack of needles, ladies and gentlemen. What, maybe 12, 15, somewhere in there, if you're counting. Who's counting? I'm counting. I'm counting. You want the same amount coming out as you do going in, otherwise, no bueno. Sharp, real. Okay, watch. Onto the tongue. Nick Cannon was freaked out, by the way. He was trying to run away from me on stage, especially during this part, because he's seen everything up until this point. I didn't know, but he has a phobia of needles, which is a real phobia. A lot of people actually have a phobia of needles. I didn't know it was so rampant until recently, and I learned roughly half our country has a phobia of needles. Too soon? All right. Onto the tongue. People ask me if I was afraid to get vaccinated. That's cute. Mr. Brady, eat your heart out. I just swallowed a whole stack of needles. All right, check inside. Gone. Under the tongue. Nothing there. Top gum. Check the bottom. Check the sides. Completely empty. The other day, somebody said maybe he has a magnet in the top of on the roof of his mouth. No magnet. Nothing there, guys. Empty hands. Okay. Keep me honest. Watch like hawks. Lynn says, someone call 911. Yes, Lynn, I think someone has my my address. One of my contacts has my address. If something goes wrong, by the way, if you see me keel over and pass out, or just I disappear during this demonstration, send the paramedics to my house. I've tried so many times. I cannot teach my small dog. He's a corgi. He's 24 pounds. His name is Oliver. I've tried, but I can't seem to teach him to dial 911. We're working on it. We're working on it. That's for my next trick. Teach my dog how to dial 911 in case this routine goes terribly wrong during a virtual show and I'm stuck here in the studio alone and I've fallen and I can't get up. All right, so all I need is this about an arm's length. That's about good. That's perfect right there. Now the thread goes down much easier than the needles, ladies and gentlemen. This is like swallowing a really long piece of hair. Melissa says, my kids aren't watching. I get, all right. Not bad. Now that's Italian. A little al dente. Someone just said, somehow this is worse than needles. You'd rather swallow the needles than like a long piece of like hair or thread, right? It tickles a little bit, but it went down much easier. No, it's okay. It's just kind of, there we go. Now it's gone. So keep this in mind. I swallowed all those needles, real needles. Okay. I do this at live events. I did it live on television, swallowed all that thread. My mouth is empty. Nothing on my roof. Nothing on top gum, bottom gum. Okay. Just make sure. Completely empty. Hands are empty. No sleeves. Keep me honest. Watch closely. That's not COVID. That's because I swallowed all the needles. All right. Ooh. Have you all noticed that in the last, 20 months, it's become more embarrassing to cough in public than to fart? What a time to be alive. It's amazing. I mean, you can fart in public now. Nobody cares, but just don't cough. Okay. Ooh. Oh, I got it. And there's all of them, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed that. Someone said gag. I think Lynn said gag. Sorry, Lynn. Sorry. Hope you enjoyed that anyway. You're never going to forget this experience, by the way, the time the guy swallowed needles live over Zoom for your entertainment pleasure. Karen says, so fantastic. Thank you. I like that. She's so polite. She goes, thank you for swallowing needles for us, Magic Boy. We appreciate the effort. All right, but that's all of them. And again, somebody's trying to eat dinner. Julia says, it's so incredible. Blown away. Thank you all. You're all too kind. Yeah, sorry about the dinner, guys. This is maybe not the best routine to be doing during dinner, but it's not dinner time for me. You guys, I'm out on the West Coast. I'm sorry. All right. And I'm happy to send this out as well, along with the lottery ticket, the Lambo, whatever you guys want. This is a killer necklace. Okay. It goes with everything. It'll be talk of the party. No one's wearing this, by the way. I mean, maybe Lady Gaga. Other than that, you'll be the only one. So hope you've all enjoyed the show so far. I want to do one more quick thing for you guys. Before we get to that, I want you all to stick around because I'm going to be teaching everybody a quick trick at the end of the show, something the kids can do, adults can do. It's so easy. And it's just so they can write my fee off as educational. So don't say I didn't teach you guys anything, okay? But first, before we get to the trick that I'm going to teach everybody, I have to tell you guys about a dream I had last night. I've recently gotten the habit of writing down my dreams because sometimes they're prolific. I don't know if it's because I do mentalism, but I've gotten the habit of writing them down, and sometimes they come true, we'll say, but it's more like the details of the dreams, almost like a deja vu type situation that I experience later on. So I wrote this dream down that I had last night. I wasn't sure how it would come into play today during the show, but I wrote it down anyway, and I want to share it with you guys in just a moment. Okay, we'll get to that in one moment, but first, I want to check in with some of you, some folks that I have not talked to yet. I want to get as many people involved in the show as we possibly can. So who do we have here? We got Sean. Sean, how's it going? Hi,
Doing
Sean.
well, thank you. Doing well.
Sean, I didn't know it was an ugly Christmas sweater party. What's going on here, Sean?
Treat yourself.
Treat
your elf.
Treat your elf.
Treat your elf.
That's amazing. It's not even Thanksgiving, Sean.
So
And the
Jamie sent me an
peppermint
email. This was supposed to be an ugly sweater party. I don't know why everybody else is.
You got the. You know what would go good with your peppermint? The peppermint necklace would be the needle necklace. The needle
Absolutely.
necklace would go great with that. All right, just what you wanted. So, Sean, I got to ask you: are you one of these people that sets up the tree before Thanksgiving? Do you put up the tree?
No.
Okay,
No, it's
just
after
making.
Thanksgiving.
You just wear the sweaters before Thanksgiving. That's perfect. I love it. This is great. Well, you didn't have to dress up for me, Sean. I appreciate it. So, Sean, where are you located right now?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix, Arizona. I wish I was there. It's probably 82 degrees out today. Perfect weather.
Yep.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
It is very nice.
It's very nice. Not New Jersey, that's for sure. But you got to pump your own gas down there. So we're going to try something. I know you're already, sort of in paradise, at least this time of year anyway, not in the middle of summer, but this time of year. But if you could travel anywhere in the world right now, Sean, anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Rome.
Rome, Italy. Boom, right out of the gate. Have you ever been?
Once.
How long ago was it, if you don't mind me asking?
It was 9 years ago, and it was only for a day.
Only for you can't see everything in a day? That's
No,
crazy.
absolutely.
That's a quick trip to Rome. I went on a high school trip years ago, and why I'm bummed is after that, the movie Gladiator came out and with Russell Crowe. And when I went to Rome, you couldn't go inside the Colosseum. You could only go around the outside. It wasn't open on the inside yet. So I want to go back so I can go inside the Colosseum and check it all out. But that was the only thing I missed in Rome, was the inside of the Colosseum. Other than that, we pretty much got to everything. So you'd go to Rome, Italy. Great answer. Stick around for a moment. We're going to check in with somebody else. Who else have we not got involved yet? Who do we got? We have, let's see. Hi, how are you? And I don't want to butcher the first name. How do you pronounce it?
Sangeeta,
Sangeeta. Perfect. Beautiful. I love it. Where are you located?
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. Okay. Not a little cooler than Phoenix, I would imagine. So we're going to try something. We know we're going to Rome, Italy. I want you to have some fun with this, Sangeeta. I want you to name a famous person, anybody you want. This could be like an actor, actress, famous person in history, musician, artist, anybody you want, but name somebody that everybody would know, that everybody on the call would know. If you could take somebody on vacation with you, in this case, Rome, Italy, who would you take?
Oh my goodness.
Again, somebody that everybody would know.
Want me to say it out loud?
Yeah, famous person that everybody would know.
Oprah.
Oprah Winfrey. That's a good.
Oprah Winfrey.
Did you see her thing with Adele the other night? Did you watch that concert with Adele?
No, I saw a snippet. I want to see the whole thing.
Oh, it was really cool because they mixed in the interviews with Oprah, and I want to be interviewed by Oprah sometimes, but I'm afraid she'd go way too deep. I'd be bawling by the end of the interview. She'd go way too deep. I'd probably find another profession. I'd realize that this wasn't what I was supposed to do with my life. It'd be weird. But I love Oprah. I love it. Oprah, Samantha says Oprah is her idol. Perfect. So good choice. So we're going to Rome, Italy with Oprah. We're going to do a lot of talking on this trip. Something tells me we're going to do a lot of talking. Let's get somebody else involved here. And finally, we got Camille. Let's check in with Camille. Hi, Camille. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Are you an Oprah fan?
I am.
Okay, well, for this little bit that we're doing here, we know we're going to Rome, Italy. We know we're going with Oprah. So Camille, what is the funnest thing you could think of doing on vacation in Rome, Italy with Oprah Winfrey?
Ooh. One time I was in Rome and I had shoes made. That was pretty amazing, and I'd do that again.
You'd have shoes made. Okay, awesome. You'd have shoes made. That's great. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a little into my closet.
What a souvenir. You'd have shoes made. Okay, perfect. So we've heard from all of you. I'm going to pull you guys out of spotlight now, just so everybody can see this. We know we're going to Rome. We know we are going with Oprah Winfrey. And finally, the thing we'd like to do most with Oprah on vacation in Italy is to have shoes made. I would have thought parasailing or something more dangerous, but I guess that's not the case today. So without further ado, I want to share with you guys the details of my dream. Like I told you earlier, I've gotten the habit of writing these down, and here's why. Let's start. We'll start from the top, from the very top. Okay. So just so you guys can see this, it says, "I had an amazing dream last night!" Exclamation point. Hopefully we will be out of this pandemic soon, so this dream comes true. It all started with a trip to Rome, Italy. Rome, Italy, guys, where I met up with Oprah. I told you these dreams are crazy. I had a blast. I even got to have shoes made. Look, I told you these dreams are nuts. This is why I write them down. Hopefully the future will be much better for all. And I signed it heart. But look at the bottom, P.S. I did read a good book on the trip though. The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. It was great. I told you these dreams are nuts, but none of it could happen without you guys. We were in this together. And so someone says, "This is crazy. Bravo. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate the wonderful comments from all of you. I appreciate all of you being involved. And as promised, I'm going to teach you all a trick. You guys ready to learn a trick? Yes? Okay. Kids, watch closely. This is an easy one. Adults, you're going to be able to fool the younger kids with this one. Not the kids on the call today, but the kids that come over for different holiday things and whatnot. All you need for this very, very simple demonstration is a bag. Okay, like a sandwich bag. Just make sure it's like a smaller bag like this, about that size. And then you need a bottle. Okay, an empty bottle does make it easier as well. Watch closely. What you do is you take the bottle, you put it inside the bag. You wave your hand over the bag once, twice, you snap your fingers, and the bottle disappears. It's gone. To bring it back, you just wave your hand over the bag once, twice, snap your fingers. Look, guys, the bottle comes back. Okay, you're not impressed. I'll do it again, just for the drinkers. Watch closely. You take the bottle, put it inside the bag, wave once, twice, snap, bottle disappears. You're always going to have a kid. They're going to say, "Turn it upside down, prove it." So you just turn it upside down. Now, as long as you wave your hand below the bag like this, wave your hand above the bag, do a Britney Spears, just, you want to sell it. It's important to sell it. So just, do all this stuff, right? Okay, right, whatever. Then they'll think it's gone. To bring it back, remember, you just turn the bag upright like this, you wave twice, you snap, and of course the bottle will always come back. Now, since none of you look impressed, I can tell like none of you are impressed at all. I'm just going to make a toast. There's a toast to all of you. Once again, for being a part of my show. We're in this together, even though it's virtual. I couldn't have done it without you. Think about it. Everything from the start to the finish had to involve you guys, or none of it would have worked. So cheers to all of you for being a big part of my show, literally a big part of my show. My name is Hart Keen, and I hope to see you guys at a live event one of these days. But until then, happy holidays. Cheers, everybody.
Oh, Hart, thank you. Cheers to you. That was amazing.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Oh, Hart. That was beautiful. Hart, when we had our, is Hart still with us? No?
Yes.
Is he? Okay, good. Sorry,
yes, I'm still here. I was passing it back over to you.
Sorry, I was just going to say that when we thought about what our message was to so many of our clients and leaders last year, we talked about how they all led with heart. So it was just so apropos that you were the person who joined us to entertain us at our thank you party. So please thank Hart and say, I just want to say thank you so much. It is just so rare that on Zoom in this time, we can just have fun, and you, like, the bar is really high. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And thanks to everybody that put this together and worked with me on the event. And again, to all the helpers today that were randomly selected. You didn't even know you were going to be part of the show, but here we are. And yeah, it was an absolute pleasure. You're all amazing.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
And if anyone ever wants to learn about Hart, you can always get in touch with Julia, who very much put this all together. He's a master. Thank you, Hart.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So in the spirit of thanking and gratitude, what we want to do is close up our time together. As I mentioned, with folks talking a bit about what they have done for self-care during this time. We're trying to start that dialogue and very much raise that awareness on the home front, on the work front. But before we go into that, I just want to know if anyone wanted Darren to show us his foot. This is my husband, Darren. And if you I told people about the situation with the foot, but you don't have to really downplay it.
I just want to say it's so nice to see you all. Thank you for everything that you do for Inspire. And I really wish we could have been in person, because I love seeing everyone this time of year. So hopefully we can do it sooner than later. It's just great seeing everyone's face though. So nice to see everyone.
Absolutely. So we have to find a way next year to have Lauren and Corinne bring their kiddos too, if we get together in person. So with that, we want to close with everyone talking about what they've done to just kind of keep it real during this wild time that we find ourselves in. So Julie, if you can go to the next page. I was so thrilled that many of you shared with us what you're doing to kind of keep it real. This is my little page. So my deal is I'm like a mailman. Neither snow nor rain nor heat nor gloom keeps me from walking. I'm out there about 6 days a week. This was a walk Darren and I did on like a 3-degree day in upstate New York. And then of course, spending time with my treasures, Darren with Benjamin and Anna in my hometown of Kingston, New York, surrounded by nature. That's me. All right, I'm passing the microphone over to Julia. Who's next? I think next is Jessica. I think got to hop off. But she always wanted to see this awesome tulip farm near her. It's open like a hot 3 weeks out of the whole year. And this year she took the time. So that was really cool. All right, next up is, I think Kira had to also jump off, but hiking and walking on the beach is part of her self-care routine. So that was very cool that she shared that. I want to jump into that picture. All right, Whitney, over to you. Tell us about what you do for self-care, my friend.
I do a wide variety of things, but per the pictures, I spend most of my time knitting, reading, and harassing the small animal in my house, which is all very, very good fun.
What is your favorite thing that you've knitted during this time?
So I have a 16-foot cowl that I have no reason to have knit, but I found the pattern and I was like, I need to do it. And then my grandma adopted it. So now it's sitting in New Mexico warming my beautiful, lovely grandma.
I love it. And your dog's name is?
That's Nola up in the top corner. She's cuddling into my body.
I love it. I love it. And I know Nola had a play date with McQueen, Camille's dog, last week, which is much fun to hear about. Okay, over to the next slide. Next up is Corinne. Tell us all about you.
All right, I forgot what I put, so I'm reading it now. Oh, this is, well, they can attest to this.
Yes.
My cooking, how is my cooking?
Good. Good.
My cooking? My baking or my cooking? Baking. My cooking, not so good. So I have somebody who's coming to help us cook once a week so that I have more time to spend with them. So instead of cooking right now, I can just warm something up and spend time with my family. And they're also enjoying the food.
Nice. Nice. You three amigos have such an awesome mom. I've known your mom for a long time, and it's great to see all of you. I get to hear about you when I catch up with your mom, but it's so good to see all of you.
Thanks.
Thanks. Oh, and thanks for being part of the magic show. Okay, over to the next slide. Oh, Colleen.
I don't remember sending this, and I cannot believe. So that picture is a picture of a friend's cat, and I took it one day. He had some surgery, and it just reminded me of a mood. And I was like, this is my mood right now. And so I don't know why I sent that to you all, but anyway, what I did for self-care is I went back to the gym. And I've been having a great time. I've been owning it and doing deadlifts and all that stuff. So, oh my goodness, that is hilarious. I cannot believe I sent that picture.
But my friend, you did not just go back to the gym and like, you know, just like get on the spin bike. Like you are like a ninja now, like deadlifts, like how much, how much are you lifting these days?
Yeah, I benched. Well, I hurt my shoulder this week because I was being, you know, like all thinking I'm Hercules, and I benched 80, like bench press, but I deadlifted 115. My best was 115 last month, so which was pretty cool. I was pretty psyched about it.
Cool. That is no joke. That is no joke. Going back to the gym.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is Camille.
Yeah, so the Atkins diet and me are not friends, and I love to eat carbs all the time. And so I've gotten really into baking bread. We make pizzas and calzones all the time. I make all the dough for that. And it's just, it smells so good. It tastes so good. And I'm kind of hooked.
I love it. Yum, yum. Oh, all right.
Is that an actual photo?
Yeah, this is bread I baked the other day.
Oh, that looks great.
What kind of bread is it?
I think that was fig and fennel bread.
Yum, yum. Okay, next up is Joan Burns.
Hi. So I thought I sent some pictures, but maybe they didn't make it through, but yoga and biking. So yoga, I've been a yogi for a long time now, but it's really probably saved my life through the pandemic. So a couple times a week doing that. And then biking, I love going on the trails.
And where do you, I know we're not too far from each other in New Jersey. Where do you bike?
So there's the Palisades, right by the GWB. So I usually go over there, and then a lot of the parks that are around, and then certainly the Hudson Walkway. I do that one all the time, that goes all the way from, Weehawken, Hoboken, and that area.
Beautiful. I know, Samantha, not too far from me, New Jersey, we're always looking for new parks to check out. So Sam, you've got to put that on your list too. Okay.
Okay, good.
So next up is Meg Hayden.
Hi. So I think as this says, I sort of returned to crocheting. I probably have made about 25 baby blankets in the last year. So it's both a creative and a therapeutic outlet for me. I've given some away, I've donated some, and I have a big stash of them. I've also listened to daily podcasts when I walk the dog, and I've also been writing letters. So taking a break from social media and, handwriting or typing and sending letters and cards to friends and family, which is something I used to do all the time as well. So kind of slowing down and going back to some of those things has been great.
Beautiful. And what is your dog's name again?
My dog is Flynn. Yes, he likes to hang out in the porch, and that's where I did a lot of crocheting in the nice weather.
So nice. Next up is Karen Harwood.
Hello, everyone. Oh, this makes me happy having all my young adult children together. We finally took a vacation this summer. So that's a vacation picture. For self-care, it's all about being outside at the beach where we run and walk and take advantage of the nature preserves around here. So as much as possible, Jamie, we're separated at birth a bit. I'm out in sub-zero temperatures as well, exercising. It's so good for the mind and the body. I don't care what the weather is. The famous story of me out exercising and it was pouring rain and my husband got in the car and got me out of the rain. But so yeah, so that's it for me.
Oh, good stuff. I love it. What do they say in Norway? There's no bad clothes. There's no bad weather, just bad clothing.
Yeah.
Clothing, you can do it. Okay, next. Who is next? Kim in LA.
Hello. One thing I did for self-care is I reconnected with family and friends. And one of my first getaways of this year was with my friend Deb. We have been friends since we were 4 years old and caught up in Phoenix for a girls' weekend at the spa. So
there's nothing like an old friend. I love it. They know all of our secrets and all of our stuff.
Oh, yes,
Like,
she does.
just feel so safe. And they always remind us of our humble beginnings, right?
Oh, yeah.
Had you been in touch with her all through the years, or was it like it's the pandemic, we should get back in touch thing?
We actually had about a 20-year break and then reacquainted. So
Beautiful. All right, now Oprah's got to write the story about that, right? We always want to reach out to Oprah. All right, next up, Julia.
Hi, everyone. So glad to see everybody's faces. So over the summer, me and my boyfriend went away to the Greek islands together. And so this was a post-graduation 2020 graduation trip. So I was so happy to be able to do it in 2021. Super fun time. And for self-care, I just love to travel.
It's the best. We've all been living vicariously through Julia as a new college grad and all the excitement. So I'm so glad you got to do that. Okay, next up, and thank you again to Julia for putting this all together. Kelly and her hubby walking. I don't think that Kelly is with us.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, thank you. You're all the way down. Hello, hello,
Yeah,
hello.
hi.
Hello.
Yeah, so I think I do exercise daily. I do some different YouTube videos and stuff, but I think for me, the best form of self-care is just getting outdoors with my husband, walking, because it's like I'm getting the exercise, the fresh air, the sunshine, but I'm getting that QT with my husband, which is my love language. I'm definitely a quality time at the top of my list kind of gal. So any chance I get to do that, I aim for like 2 to 4 miles a day on top of my routine. So
It's great. And you were one of those cool couples that literally moved during the pandemic to Florida, which was so cool. Just to
we did, yes. And not regretting it one bit. I could never see myself coming back to the Northeast. And we're coming up there for Christmas. My mom's on Long Island. And I said to my husband, what were we thinking when we made that promise? Why would we be leaving Tampa to go back to the cold? Shouldn't we have made that a spring thing? So lesson learned for next year. If they want to see us for Christmas, they can come to us. So we're heading up there in about 5 weeks, but yeah.
Sean's about to head east with his sweater, I hope, I know, for the holidays. And Janine, who had to jump off, but our new executive assistant, she also relocated from New York down to Florida. So you'll have to connect with her. She's just been there a short period of time.
Awesome.
Okay, next up is Melissa.
Hello. Yes, we that I'm with my oldest there, Cora. This my youngest here, Kate, with me. But I feel like I was just more of a kid again. You know, we were playing out. We decided, you know, it's raining. Well, then let's put on boots and raincoats and go play in the rain. You know, and it's cold, and even though it's April, it's not a perfect day. And well, let's gear up for it and go play on snow-covered slides at the playground. And our first trip out of town, our first overnight in a hotel was Lake Placid. So here we are doing the mountain coaster, which was a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. Even my risk-averse little 7-year-old here had a lot of fun. And so we tried to do just fun stuff. I colored with my kids more, you know, and just played more board games and just did a lot of fun stuff that we used to do as kids, and and decided like, hey, let's find fun, you know?
Absolutely the best. And it's like no batteries required. You're just like doing stuff outside. Yeah, so good. I love it. And thank you for bringing along. I love seeing all the kids' faces here. Okay, next up is Allison.
Hi, everyone. For self-care this year, we moved, and we actually moved to Jamie's hometown of Kingston, New York, and ended up moving a little bit again. But the self-care is the same, you know, getting out and exploring a new area. It was a really nice, motivation to get out and explore being in a new place. And Jamie was not short with the recommendation. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. It's the great part of being in town, seeing my folks getting to steal time with Allison every once in a while. Okay, next up is Mindy and her hubby.
Hi everyone. Hi Jamie. First of all, thanks so much for putting the party together. I'm so enjoying it, and the illusionist was incredible. So thank you. So I mean, like so many others have said, I mean, I think for me, the pandemic and then just other things happening in the world made me finally realize that now is the time, right, to do whatever it is you want to do. And so that shift in focus and mindset was huge for me, because I'm always somebody who, you know, is sort of a 24/7 work person, and all I did was focus on work most of my life. And we really shifted. My husband is still working, but I'm largely doing just the fractional work, you know, with Jamie and crew. So we moved to South Carolina, which is something that we actually had been planning on doing for a long time, but we finally did it. We've been visiting New York a fair bit though, so that we still get our fill of that. And, you know, this picture is a picture of my husband, Scott, and I biking in our new location, where we're actually going to be living on a nature preserve here in South Carolina. And we're not quite there yet. We're building a house, but that's the idea, right? Be with nature and just be. And so that's a picture. I'm actually in training because we're taking a bike trip in July to France, and I have a lot of work to do.
So cool. I love hearing about so many of you that have reimagined life during this time, and just taken people that you love and taken yourself and just found a new zip code. I think that's great. Very inspiring. Okay, next up is Samantha.
Oh, I'm like, what did I write here? I recently moved in May to a more quiet suburban New Jersey town in Clifton, and I discovered Brookdale Park, and it's really just the most amazing, you know, scenic, beautiful, quiet park, like literally out of a movie, where like soccer practice is happening, and plenty of dogs, beautiful, you know, cute little puppies. So yeah, that's what I've been doing for self-care. I just take myself outside and I take a walk, and it just completely clears my mind. And also we heard about cooking earlier. I have committed to HelloFresh for about a year now, and it's just completely changed the way that I look at cooking and healthy eating options, because I am very much a, you know, frozen food, frozen pizza kind of person, and just cooking for myself, just, it feels so much better. So I would highly recommend, you know, one of those options. HelloFresh is a great way to eat a little bit healthier.
Absolutely. Anything you can outsource just even a tiny bit is just so helpful.
Yes.
And I want to shout out to Sam. Sam recommended this beautiful gratitude journal that I've been doing for about 6 months now, where I just write down 3 things in the morning that I'm grateful for. Sometimes it's like honey or like oatmeal, like it's like so basic, but just taking a nanosecond to do that. So thank you, Sam, for teaching me that. Okay, next up is Sean.
That's a great picture. Yeah, so I mean, it was 2020, but you know, there was a time last year where Paul and I just kind of looked at each other and said, me being on Zoom calls all day, and then just basically that routine that we were in every day of wake up, get on Zoom, have dinner, watch TV, go to bed, it just got so monotonous that we need to do something different. So we rescued 2 kittens. They are sisters, believe it or not, or at least that's what they told us. But they're bonded. So that's the most important thing, even if they're not blood relatives. And they're amazing and we enjoy them and they make our lives so much better. And Jamie, the other thing I want to say is, thanks to you also for self-care, because this model, the way that we work, you've made this possible for a lot of us who were working full time. I was thinking about what Mindy just said, like I was that person. And to have the opportunity to have this be on our own terms makes such a huge difference. And so just want to say thanks for that, because it really has made a difference in our lives.
Oh, Sean, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And thank you. That was the genesis of the whole idea, just for things on the home front for me. And knowing that so many of you, like I was talking to Shatanice the other day, and she was telling me how she bravely chaperoned a trip. Was it Nina's class or at the aquarium? Was it the aquarium?
Yes.
Right. And not having to say to your boss, like, so sorry, I need to take like a whole day off to like bravely chaperone a trip, but just like squeezing that in. And then the next thing you knew, we were like on a call with a client, like just making it happen. And Sean, I gotta tell you, you look so happy in that picture. Wow. Okay. Next up is Jan with the Airstream.
Yes. Many of you know this. I have an Airstream trailer. It's 4,500 pounds and I tow it. I know how to back it up. I know how to, I've had it for now 8 years, and we took a trip to Big Sur about a month ago. And I have to say, we've been all over the United States in this trailer, but Big Sur, the only way to describe it is that it's just this magical place. Not the magic that we saw today. It's a magical place where, I mean, you just feel so humbled and grateful to be alive in this world. So if you have the opportunity, and if you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. I highly recommend it. It's such an incredible place. But I have 3 dogs. This is not a cat, by the way. I have 3 dogs, and my partner Jay and I, we are a little family traveling around whenever we can.
I love it. And Jay's an artist. So he,
Yes.
The two of you are this beautiful yin and yang. It's so good to hear about it. Okay, so next up is KT.
So I like to spend time in nature with my family. We have a beautiful pond right near our house. And when the pandemic started, the kids, we usually walked to school every morning, and we were missing that because everyone was home for so long. So I started by dragging my family out every morning to go for walks around the pond. And, even when they didn't start out so good and there was some hesitation or it was cold or people didn't want to wake up, it always ended up being such a great experience. So, now everyone's back a little bit. The kids are in school, things are a little different, but we still try and get out there a couple times a week and just spend time out in nature and, just enjoying each other's company. So that's what we do.
So you have a little veterinarian in the making, I know. One of your daughters with all the nature and all the animals. Okay, next up is Tara.
Hello. Well, it looks like we should start a virtual walking club because there's so many of us that have really taken up walking during the pandemic, which is awesome. So that would be the same for me. Prior to the pandemic, I was like the CrossFit queen, and it never occurred to me that walking could be, an amazing form of exercise. But, more importantly, like Sam said, it really just clears my mind and gives me this sense of peace and serenity to now I'm just like, how was I existing without this before? So I think someone had mentioned that they try to do about 2 to 4 miles a day, if possible. And so I absolutely try to do that. And this is a photo of this little, I guess, kind of garden, or for lack of better words, that I just found on a walk, like smack dab in the middle of a block in Brooklyn, super random. And most people would probably miss it, but it just really became my go-to to just go and meditate and think and get some fresh air. So that's that.
Beautiful. I love it. I love it. And it's fun to kind of discover new things in your neighborhood like that.
Right.
Next up is Lauren. Lauren with the cutie kids. Yes, Lauren, over to you.
Yeah, let's see. I forgot what I did. Oh, yes, we went to the beach for 2 weeks this summer, which was great. It's the first time we ever did that. It was just really nice to just spend some time with family. The first week we were there, we were with my in-laws. And then the second week that we were there, we stayed with my family. So it was just a great way to reconnect with everyone. It was a great chance for us to enjoy the outdoors and just spend every day with each other, outdoors, under the sun. It was just great. So I enjoyed it thoroughly, and I took some time to myself every day just to walk or to meditate or do yoga or to read. Of course, you know, on the beach, because why not? That's where we're there for. So it was great. And, you know, I'm so blessed that we were able to get two full weeks at the beach. That was kind of, you know, unheard of. So it was great.
The moment is now. There's like no postponing of joy any longer. And you look so centered in that picture. I love it.
Thanks.
Okay, next up is Denise.
My husband and I went to Hilton Head. I'm a type of person that will end a project and just keep going to the next. And so I ended something that was pretty huge. And I said, you know what? We're going to pause and celebrate that. And so being at the beach, being near water, it's so soothing. So I should have shared a picture of my husband because he was actually there with me, but the picture I sent in. So I love water, I love beach, and I'm down for the walking tour or the virtual walking club too.
Absolutely. And you look so relaxed. Oh my gosh. Okay, next up is Lynn and her toes.
I hope I had a good pedicure there. I don't know. I can't tell. Thank God we can't really zoom in, right? So I do, just being honest, a terrible job with self-care. So I've gone also too from project to project. And what I decided to do was take a time out. It was my anniversary, wedding anniversary, and we went down to Fort Lauderdale and we vegged on the beach. I am a saltwater girl and love the ocean, and it just centers me, and that's what we did. And the funniest thing was we felt like we were kids because believe it or not, we spent a lot of time literally like jumping waves in the ocean. So, I mean, I never do that. Like I go in, I get to my knees or my hips, you know, splash myself thinking, oh, this is great, right? But we were in the water and it was just fabulous. So that was my self-care, but I need to get better at a routine for sure.
We have to get another on the counter. Well, you're like Melissa, you found the kid in this moment, this kid in you. I love it. Okay, next up is Zach.
I'm here. Hello. So for me, let me actually kind of see what that said. So I've actually just moved back from being abroad and rediscovering Utah, which is right at the base of the mountains. Many people think Denver is the kind of mountain city, but Salt Lake is probably much, much closer. So I made it a priority every Sunday to go and do that, and hearing everybody talk, it's been really fun the last couple of weeks. I've been listening a lot more around the metaverse, and even before obviously Facebook and Meta, but there is this idea that even eventually with glassware and stuff, 90% of our time is going to be on the screen and our worlds are going to be so valuable there. So it's been actually really refreshing to hear everyone else here today talking about their time outside and these other things and these walking clubs. And I'll pop in a link here of a great podcast you can listen to while you're walking, all about walking, which was very similar to what people discover and how they go about it. So anyway, happy to join that club as well.
Oh, for sure. I love it. And next up, I think we just have two more folks to go. Sandra had to drop, but OMG about this whole photo shoot situation. She had like a gorgeous trip to Morocco and a photo shoot to match. I know we have to hear more about that when we see her. Sangeeta.
Hi. Am I unmuted? Yeah.
Yes.
So I bought this little bird feeder and stuck it on my office window and put some seeds in there and waited. And after about a week, they found it. And this little cardinal came, this red one that you see here, started visiting and tweeting. And then I saw his partner, and then they had a baby. I called her Cardi B. And she I've watched her grow. It's been amazing. And then I have seen these, they're house finches. They look red as well. And it's like they know each other. And one was really brave and was eating the food out of this cardinal's beak. I've never seen anything like it. And then when the blue jay swoops in, they all scram. So I never imagined in a million years that I would know so much about these birds and be able to identify them and be able to even learn about their behaviors. It's just brought a lot of joy to my life every day. That's all I can say.
You don't.
And then of course,
yes,
in my office, I have that tree, and I put that up last year. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm not going to take that down. I'm just going to keep switching it up because I'm going to be in here for a while. So that's my fall tree.
I love it. And what's so cool is you don't even just put on your kicks, and go into nature. It's coming to you, which I love that you're kind of creating that energy. I think that animals go where they know they're going to find that peace. So that's beautiful.
I didn't even think I'd find joy in just giving them the food. That in itself feels so good.
Absolutely.
So,
Beautiful.
yeah.
I thank you. And I know last but certainly not least, we have Deb and Sangeeta, this deck that kind of captured our beautiful year and brought us all together. Thank you. This is such a work of art that you've been working on with Julia since really after Labor Day. So thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. So I guess what my big takeaway from tonight is the common denominator is nature. Everybody really found nature. And I would say I had a physician tell me that back in, it was probably the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, is you really just need to disconnect and go and just be out in nature. So I'm up in upstate New York, and I absolutely love going up to the Adirondack Mountains and, just kind of walking around, taking a mild walk, a hike, whatever it is, but just kind of getting out there and see all that we have that's offered to us.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. It is so great to gather. And as I always say at the close of our thank you parties.
Oh, Jamie, so sorry. Beth didn't get to go.
Oh, Beth, I'm so sorry. We didn't.
No, it was totally my fault, which I didn't submit a slide, so I'm sorry, which goes along with my year being much crazier than I wanted it to be. But a couple things that I have tried to do for self-care is I have my constant buddy over here, Wilson. So I hike him with all of his puppy friends as much as I can. Of course, spend time with families and exercising. But a major thing that I've done lately, which is huge for me, is prioritize sleep. I have always been nocturnal. I never slept. I never anything. And now, honestly, it's my favorite thing to do. I'm striving for 8 hours. And like when I do, I feel like a whole different human being, right? And so that is my real thing for self-care is sleep.
Beautiful. Yep. It's like Ariane Huffington's book about 8 hours and about how it's so needed. I love it. Thank you. And Cora, we also, I know it, I'm going to put you on the spot, but do you have anything you want to share?
I'm listening to each and every one of you, and I will take a piece of what you all have done and roll it out in 2022.
I love it. I love it. I want to just end where I started, which is to say thank you to each of you. We always do this party before the Thanksgiving week begins, and it is just a way to just pause and say thank you to each of you. And if I knew how to correctly pronounce it in all these languages, I would say it, but thank you. And I just wish each of you and your families continued health, and each of these relationships that I have individually and collectively as a group really fill my well. So to you. And I hope that we get to clink glasses in person next year. But until then, we'll just keep on showing up like this and staying safe, and wish you all just a lovely holiday season. So thank you.
Thank you,
truly.
Jamie.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Jamie.
Be well.
Thank
Thank you.
Bye. I would say get home safe, but you're all already home. Bye.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jamie.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Wilson.
Bye,
Good night,
everyone.
sweetie.
Happy
Bye.
Thanksgiving, happy holidays.
You too.
Bye.
That was so cool. Great job, Julia. Great job.